If you want to, you can connect with your Twitter and your Facebook account. I'm not going to do that right now for the sake of time. I want to keep the videos as short as possible, but this is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to tweet your broadcast every time you do a broadcast through your back office, then you would want to connect your Twitter, and the same thing with your Facebook. I'm going to leave those blank for now. I'm leaving everything blank to get this pretty much as basic as we possibly can. I'm going to click on Save Settings. And now it's time to put our confirmation message that people will receive once it's been confirmed that they want the information from us. So what I'm going to do is click on this that says, I like this one, response required, please confirm your request for information. You generally don't have to copy this again if you're going to use the same one. I always do because I had problems with that once before. So I'm just going to Control C to copy and Control V to paste and say the same thing. Now, if you want to put a custom field in your subject, you can do that by clicking on name or first name or whatever you would like to do. At one time, things like that used to be really, really popular, but it turned out that it got so overkill and people would recognize that as being almost spam sometimes, or it just was a little less personal because everybody was doing it. And so lately people have been leaving off the need to add somebody's first name because everybody knows it's automated. You didn't take the time to type my name in. You just did, you did a field that automatically inserted my name. But of course, that's again up to you, however you want to do that. Now, you're going to want to edit your introduction. I'm going to leave the information for the most part that they have here, but remember, this is what I called my newsletter, HTB newsletter. Well, I certainly don't want that to be in the message, so I'm going to just change that one thing. It says we received your request for information from, and I'm going to take out the HTB newsletter and put in, how to blog 101, and I'm going to take out the word group because we're not using it as a group. And so my message simply says, we received a request for information from How to Blog 101. Before we begin sending you the information you requested, we want to make sure basically that we have the permission. Now, I would recommend that you change this and make it a little bit more personable if you choose. But again, for the sake of time, I want to show you the simplest way to set this up. You don't have to change anything in that box if you don't want to change anything at all. If you want to add a custom closing, right here where it says Edit Signature, I'm going to click on there, and I'm simply going to say, keep it simple, your partner in success. Put my name and that phone number. Now, the next section, require opt-in on web forms. I always leave this on. There are some people that will turn that off, and what that does is if you turn it off, it's not going to require an additional opt-in. One thing that I don't do is send spammy messages and spammy emails, and so I just definitely want to make sure that the people that I am sending messages to are saying, yes, I want to receive it. Another thing that we have an option of doing is this. If you want to send people to a separate page on your website once they have successfully received your information, then you simply put the URL of that success page right here. When you opted in to get this training, you received a page that was directly from my blog that actually let you know that you had successfully confirmed. And that is exactly what that looks like. Again, this is an option that you don't need to do. So if you don't want to go through the hassle right now because you're just getting everything set up of creating a special page for that, you can leave this blank. I will, however, recommend that as you start to dig deeper into this and get more things done, you may want to create a page that says you've succeeded, and then that way it is more personable when your people receive it. After you've done that, go ahead and click on Save Settings. And we're 75% done. We're just about completely done setting everything up. Right here at the bottom, there's going to be this box that always tells you what you need to do next. I left it on intentionally because I wanted to show you that it's there. I usually click this red X to turn it off. Once you've done this a few times, you'll already know exactly what to do and you won't need to be reminded of what your next step is. But I just wanted to leave this up so that you can see that it's actually telling you what you need to do next. So on this next step, it says we need to create a welcome email. So I'm going to click on do this step. And that's going to send me to the place where I can now create my welcome email. I am just going to put right now, this is a test email for training purposes. And then I'll come back later and edit that. Of course, we're not going to be using this, but now that I've done that, it's ready to go. If you want to make your templates a little bit fancier and you want to send something other than just a regular looking email, over here to the right, you'll see where it says templates. And if you click on any of these in the box, you'll see that this is what your email message would look like when you actually send it to people. As a matter of fact, as I said before, this is where I create my newsletters, and I simply use their newsletter template, and from there go ahead and send out whatever it is that I want to send through my email on Aweber. So again, that's just an option that you have available. Most people keep it basic and plain, and they don't do any templates at all, and they simply type their information in. You also can copy the information that you have typed into your editor and paste it down here for plain text message. It's very rare these days where there are people who can't read HTML messages, but for the sake of those who may have their computers set up only to receive plain text, you always want to duplicate whatever you put here in HTML and put it down in plain text message. Keep in mind that in plain text, you can't put links or anything like that. So if you want people to actually click on a link, you would have to copy that link and paste it down below in the plain text message section. So you would simply copy the message, scroll down, and paste the message. And now you're good to go. We won't get into attaching files right now. That's a little bit advanced, and we're not going to get into tracking clicks or anything. So I'm going to uncheck that for now. And I'm just going to simply click on Save Message. Oh, please enter a subject. Okay, this is a test message for training purposes, and we are good to go. I'm going to save the message. And now I've got a message. Now, just so you'll know, this is where you are able to actually put a series of messages, and it allows you to create as many follow-up messages as you want. You can send 1, you can send 10, you can send 100, and it actually gives you the opportunity to send those messages in certain intervals. And what I mean by intervals, let's say that you create a message today, and then you want to create another message, but you don't want them to receive it for, say, 3 days. Once you've created this message, if you scroll down right here, you'll see where it says interval. This is message number 2, sent however many days after the last message is the number that you would put in this box. So if you want it to be sent 3 days after the previous message, you simply put 3 days, and then you click on Save Message. Okay, I'm not going to save it. This is just to show you how you can go through and create as many as you choose. Now, we've got our messages all ready to go. The next thing that it's telling us down here that we need to do, and this is the main part that you want to grab to put on your blog, and this is to create a web form. So I'm going to click on Do This Step.